Welcome students. In this class we would learn how to solve this particular Olympiad question. This is actually a German Olympiad question. The question reads as follows. Find real p given that x to the power 4 negative 40x squared positive p is equal to 0 as 4 real solutions and they all form a arithmetic progression. Now foremost, we would have always studied equations of this nature. This is actually a quartic equation. That means the degree of this equation is 4. And we always know whenever you're given equations of degree 4, we can convert it into quadratic equation. And the roots are not affected. So we know that logic. Now, having known that logic, let us start off by writing the question. We are given that x to the power 4 negative 40 times x squared positive p is equal to 0. So this is given. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, say, some t to be equal to x squared and rewrite the parent equation, which is 1. Rewrite 1 as, I'm going to rewrite this as x to the power 2 raised to the power 2 negative 40 times x squared positive p is equal to 0. Now since I'm making the substitution that t is equal to x squared, if I were to take this as 2, therefore 2 can be rewritten as t squared negative 40 times t positive p is equal to 0. Now let us assume, let R1 and R2 be the roots of 3. Okay. Now, if R1 and R2 are the roots, then clearly T negative R1 and T negative R2 are its factors. Okay. So we know this. Now, this means 3 can be rewritten as t negative r1 multiplied with t negative r2 is equal to 0. This is always possible. Now, if I were to expand this, I multiply t into t, that's t squared, t into r2, then I got negative t into r1, then I've got negative positive r1 into r2 is equal to 0. Now this can be further rewritten as t squared negative, I'm taking t out, so I would get r1 plus r2 positive r1 times r2 is equal to 0. So this is what I've got. Now we will assume the roots r1 comma r2 to be greater than 0 and r1 is less than r2. This is the assumption we are making. Now why we are making? Since it is given that the roots are in AP, in arithmetic progression. So since it is given that the roots are in AP, this is a perfect valid assumption. Now, having made this assumption, we will proceed. Now, if you were to compare this, if I were to take this as 4, now comparing 4 with the given equation 1, this is 1, we can clearly observe that you see the coefficient r1 plus r2, in other words the coefficient of t, in this case it is nothing but the coefficient of x squared because we have taken t to be as x squared. So clearly comparing 4 with 1, we can see that r1 plus r2 is equal to negative 40. in fact, I should write this as negative R1 plus R2. Okay, negative R1 plus R2, because the sign is negative before t and the sign is negative before x squared. So negative R1 plus R2 is equal to negative 40. So this implies that R1 plus R2 is equal to positive 40. So I'm taking this as 5. Also, now R1, R2, if you were to compare, this is nothing but equal to P. Also, we see that R1 times R2 is equal to P. So I'm taking this as 6. Now we have got these two important equations, and from these two important equations we will easily be able to solve. Now we should also observe that R1 and R2 are the roots of the given equation, right? R1 and R2 are the roots of the given equation. So I'm taking it from here. I assume that R1 and R2 be the roots of 3. So are the roots of 3. So this would mean t is equal to R1. It means x squared is equal to R1. Therefore, there are two roots here. X is equal to plus root of R1 and x is equal to minus root of R1. So this is one step. So also t is equal to R2. So which means x squared is equal to R2. So x is equal to plus root of R2 and x is equal to minus root of R2. So we have got 4 roots over here. Now I'm going to change the page and I'm going to be using this page. So clearly we see that minus root of R1 comma plus root of R1 comma negative root of R2 comma positive root of R2 are all the roots. Okay, of equation 3. I would say this should be the equation 1, parent equation. Equation 1. Since we have made the assumption, since R1 is less than R2, clearly root of R1 is less than root of R2, and it also means that root of R2 with the negative sign is going to be less than negative root of R1, because R1 is less than R2 in a positive side. So if you were to take it from the negative end, the inequality will get reversed. The equality, the sign between them, because of the negative sign, the inequality which is implying here that R1 is less than R2 would become negative root of R2 less than negative root of R1. So this is a very important observation you have to know. So writing all the roots, in increasing order, we get, so if I were to place all the roots, so we would start with negative root of R2. This is going to be less than negative root of R1. This is going to be less than negative root of R1 is going to be less than root of positive R1. And clearly we know R1 is less than R2. So root of R1 is going to be less than root of R2. Now since it is given, since it's given that the roots are in arithmetic progression, this would mean that negative root of R2 less than negative root of R1. The distance between these two things, these two roots will be D. Negative root of R1 less than positive root of R1. The distance between these two will be, the common difference is going to be D. And positive root of R1 less than root of R2, this distance is going to be d. So the common difference, well, what is d? D is nothing but the common difference. Now, having obtained the common difference, now clearly if I were to take the quantity, say the distance between, in other words, the difference between R1 and R2. So I'm going to connect, in fact, I will connect these two quantities. These two quantities are simple. So if I were to connect, clearly we see that root of R1, negative of negative root of R1, that common difference is given to be as d. So this is nothing but root of R1, negative times negative, positive, and that's going to be root of R1 is equal to d. Okay. Now, these two can be added, giving us 2 times root of R1 is equal to d. Now, if I were to move this 2 down, this is going to be root of R1 is equal to d divided by 2. Now, squaring both sides, we get. So, if you were to square both sides, I'm squaring both sides. So, this is going to be R1 is equal to d squared divided by 4. So, this is a very important equation. So, I can name this as 7. Okay, so I've got now R1 is equal to d squared divided by 4. Now from the same relation, what we can do is I can deduce, if I were to name this relationship as some capital R prime. So what I can do is I'm going to use this space here. From capital R prime, we also deduce a relation. So what is the relation we can deduce? See, clearly if you were to see the distance between the first root, negative R2, root of negative R2 and negative root of R1 is d. The distance between negative root of R1 and root of R1 is d. And the distance, common difference between root of R1 and root of R2 is d. So if I were to connect negative root of R2 with positive root of R2, then I can have this relation. So what is that? That's nothing but negative root of R2 positive. You see the common difference here? The common difference to reach root of R2, positive root of R2 is d plus d plus d, 3d. So if I were to add that common difference, positive 3d, I would be able to reach root of R2. So that is the deduction we get from R prime. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this to the right side. So that would give me 3 times d is equal to root of R2, positive root of R2. I'm adding these two together. So that's going to be 2 times root of R2 is equal to 3d. I'm squaring both sides. So squaring both sides, we get, this is going to be squared, this is going to be squared, this would give me 9d squared is equal to 4 times R2. So from here, R2 is equal to 9 times d squared divided by 4. So this is what I'm getting with reference to R2. So already we have R1 and this is going to be 8. Now we have got for R1 also, let me state it here. Also R1 is equal to d squared divided by 4. So this is going to be 7. Now clearly we know that R1 plus R2 also from the previous we know that. Now clearly I have given you that reduction R1 plus R2. Let me show you that to you. So clearly you see that R1 plus R2 is equal to 40. So clearly also we know that from 5 R1 plus R2 is equal to 40 using 8 and 7 in 5 we get, so what do we get if we were to use it? So this is going to be, in place of R1 I substitute d squared divided by 4. In place of R2 I'm going to substitute 9 d squared divided by 4 is equal to 40. So this is going to be 4 d squared plus 9 d squared is equal to 40. So 10 d squared is equal to 10 d squared divided by 4 is equal to 40. I can cancel the left versus the right. So this is giving me d squared is equal to 4 multiplied with 4, which means d squared is equal to 16. And the value of d from here, I would get the value of d to be as plus 4 and minus 4. Okay, but I would be taking d to be as positive 4. So having obtained this, now clearly I can, from here, this means substituting the value of d in 7 and 8 we get. So what do we get when we substitute the values? So let me finish it here. So we already got R1 is equal to d squared divided by 4. So d is equal to 4. I substitute square divided by 4. So 16 over 4, which means R1 is equal to 4. So this is one root. And I can also use the space here. So R2 is equal to 9 d squared divided by 4. So 9 times 4 squared divided by 4 is equal to 9 times 4 is equal to 36. So R2 is equal to 36. So we've got the roots R1 and R2. Now we want to find the value of P. Now clearly P is nothing but R1 times R2. So I can show you that. I have already shown you that when in the start, that R1 times R2 is equal to P. So we are asked to find the value of P. So this is equal to, the value of R1 is 4. The value of R2 is 36. So this is going to be 6 times 4, 24. 2, 4 times 3, 12, 13, 14. So 144. This is the value of P. So this completes the solution to this question, students. Until we see again.